I think this must be one of those stag parties we know Bratislava is so famous for.
People usually come to Bratislava for just a single day. It's a really quick trip from Vienna. We're kind of wondering if we made a huge mistake by coming here for a whole month. I know right away I'm gonna have to do a whole lot of cardio after this, but it is worth it. When we rented our apartment, we hadn't actually seen a photo of the outside of the building. So when we arrived, we were very surprised. I definitely want to be spending my days on a patio, soaking in all this gorgeous architecture.
Bratislava is a lovely city, there's no question about it. It's got the old town, all the historic buildings, a really beautiful waterfront, but it's also a pretty small city.
The usual itinerary for Bratislava is to come here from Vienna by train. You spend the day here, maybe 2 days at most. You hit a few of the main attractions, and that's the whole trip.
For us, we're spending the summer doing a lengthy tour of Central Europe. We've been to the Czech Republic, we've been to Austria, and we've got lots more travel to come, so our month in Bratislava is kind of like a rest stop.
In fact, today is our very first day here. This is the day when we get all settled in. That means we're gonna have a look around the old town, we're gonna pick up a few groceries, check out that gorgeous waterfront, and of course we're gonna give you a tour of our Airbnb.
And maybe we'll even answer the question, will a month here be way too long, or will it be just the rest stop that we needed?
By the way, for anyone watching our channel for the very first time, we'll do some quick intros.
Yeah, so I'm Gillian, this is Stephanie, and we've got our two little fellows here, Jasper and Huxley.
Say hi, guys. So the four of us are slow traveling the world full time and sharing it all as we go. Having been to the old towns of Prague and Vienna just in the last few weeks, I have to say this old town of Bratislava, it's a refreshing change. I mean, it's certainly smaller, but I think that's the charm. It's a very manageable size of old town. I mean, I feel like over the coming months, we can really get to know all the little streets and alleys here. And I have to say the buildings here, they're lovely. They've been very well preserved. So I'm definitely getting that Europe, springtime kind of vibe. I definitely want to be spending my days on a patio, soaking in all this gorgeous architecture. I do think there's something to an old town that isn't totally overcrowded like we saw in Prague. So as promised, the crowd went from a couple dozen people to easily a few hundred standing here. True confession, we are out here very early in the morning, so I do have an expectation that it's gonna fill up over the course of the day, but this is very pleasant. Like, you can actually see the streets, see the buildings, so I'm really enjoying that. Now, it's still a very touristy looking old town. I mean, we've got a lot of burger shops and trinket shops, but despite that, I'm really enjoying the look of the buildings and the feeling of stepping back through time.
Well, we've seen some of the old town and it's absolutely lovely, but there's another part of the city that we wanted to check out, and it's just a few minutes away. Oh my goodness, look at the bridge. Look at it's like a UFO up there. Wow, well, it is just gorgeous here by the waterfront. We're really just a few minutes from our place. I'm sure we're gonna be coming here every day. I think this must be one of those stag parties we know Bratislava is so famous for. Okay, they're pretty tame so early in the morning, I don't mind.
So we always love staying in cities that have really great access to the waterfront. We had that in places like Saranda in Albania, in Fethiye in Turkey. We also had it in Sevilla in Spain. But to be honest, when I look around at this one, I think this is almost perfect because we have this beautiful grassy stretch here. You can just imagine people will be picnicking here over the summer. There is a nice mall over there with lots of bars and restaurants and just plenty of things to do. And then the water here just looks great. So you can easily spend the afternoon watching the boats pass by and just enjoying the weather. Okay, Huxley. I think it might be time to walk. Let's give it a go here. Okay, come on guys, here we go. Oh, he's walking so well. Come on. Oh, distracted by a smell. I'm thinking that a lot of our recreation is going to center around this waterfront over the course of the month. For sure, we're going to have quite a few evening walks here with the dogs. I'm really looking forward to it.
Since we're right here by the mall, it's the perfect time for me to head on in and get a few groceries. I mean, we're here for a month, so we're definitely going to be doing a lot of cooking at home. Now, I always find it really interesting to see what grocery shopping is like in a new country. This store is actually the closest one to our apartment and it's well reviewed, so let's head on in and check it out. Okay, so first impressions, it's a big store that seems kind of mid-range, definitely not a discount store. Oh, and I love that they have bulk items available in these environmentally friendly packages. And no surprise here, there's an excellent selection of baked goods. Oh, these look like some nice crusty loaves. Now, to me, this is an absolutely enormous meat and dairy section. It goes all the way to the other side of the store. Here's something that I love about being in Europe, a huge wine selection right in the grocery store. I mean, we don't get that back in Toronto. Here's a nice surprise. They've got a nice selection of vegan foods. Oh, look, this is a smoked tofu. That sounds good. And only 89 euro cents. Well, that was a pretty good first shop. I found everything that I needed, but it did take quite a while. My Google Translate definitely came in handy for reading the labels. There were like 3 different languages and none of them were English. Now, looking at all that food definitely made me hungry, so let's go get something to eat.
So we've circled all the way back to the old town to get something to eat. And I have to say, I love how pedestrian friendly this city is, especially as soon as you get close to the old town, it's all pedestrian walkways. And it's so pleasant with the trees, and we've got some music and all the restaurants, setting exactly the right tone for a great lunch. Isn't this area just lovely? One of the things that gets me so excited whenever we land in a new country is trying some of the local dishes. Now, I did have a little bit of a challenge with that here coming to Slovakia because there are a lot of regional dishes. So there are some dishes that are held in common with the Czech Republic, where we just were, with Austria, where we just were. So I wanted to find something that was distinctly Slovakian, and that is what I'm ordering today. It is the national dish, and I'm very excited to try it.
Here's to a month in Bratislava. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. This is the dish I've been so excited to try. So these are called brinza dumplings. I hope I'm close to approximating what that is. So they are potato dumplings that I think are very similar in sort of size and shape to an Italian gnocchi. And it is just completely slathered in a delicious, creamy, rich sheep's cheese. So it looks absolutely delicious. I think there's maybe some little bacon bits on top. It is a truly decadent looking dish. Okay, giving it a go. It's so rich. It's so delicious. Well, I know right away I'm going to have to do a whole lot of cardio after this, but it is worth it. These dumplings, they're just so tender, and then the sheep's cheese on top of that is just like a little tangy, so rich, totally scrumptious. Yeah.
And I couldn't resist ordering a dish you've seen us try a number of times so far on our journey through Central Europe. It's duck confit served with red cabbage, and this looks like a very large leg with very nice crispy skin. Yum.
When we rented our apartment, we hadn't actually seen a photo of the outside of the building. So when we arrived, we were very surprised. So this is our place here, and you can see it is looking a little rundown. And actually it's kind of funny because none of the other buildings in this neighborhood are this rundown. So maybe they've got a little maintenance to do here. Okay, here we go. Now I knew the apartment is on the ground floor, so I was expecting it to be one of these two, but it's not. It's actually a bit of a journey. So we just make our way through this somewhat rundown courtyard and up through here, a few more stairs. All right, here we go. Well, despite how the outside of the place looked, on the inside, I think it's really quite nice. I mean, they've taken an older space and they renovated it top to bottom. They went with this really strong color palette. So we've got a lot of black and green here. And the whole place is really nice. I mean, of course, we love the big windows. We can never have enough light. The kitchen is a little on the small side, but everything is new, everything is really tidy, and even though it's very light on appliances, what we do have is an espresso machine. So I'm very excited to get Gillian churning out those morning cappuccinos. And if you're wondering why it's Gillian and not me, it's because this is a job for Gillian. It requires reading instructions and doing some very detailed work. And if we head back here over to the bedroom, we've got a lot more black and green. And big surprise, we've got a shower right in the middle of the bedroom. I mean, there's about zero leeway for modesty around here. There's not even a little bit of shower curtain or even like a small frosted panel. It's all gonna happen right here. Now, fortunately for us, the toilet is somewhere else entirely. So we've got one of those classic little European toilet cubbies right over here. And we have been seeing these in all of the apartments that we stayed in so far in our journey through Central Europe. We've got 2 more countries to go, so we're gonna see if the trend continues.
This apartment is actually one of the reasons why we decided to make Bratislava our base for a month.
So when we were considering which city to choose, we ruled out Prague and Vienna pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, those cities are wonderful to visit. They have so much to offer, but the Airbnbs get pretty expensive.
Especially in the peak summer season. So instead, we're here in what I would say is a very nice modern apartment in Bratislava, and it's just 65 US a night.
I mean, that's with us paying a premium. There are definitely much cheaper places available.
Okay, the big question here, is a month in Bratislava too long?
Well, for us, looking for a rest stop in the middle of a very busy itinerary in Europe, a month here is going to be just fine.
Yeah, if you're a slow traveler, if you're a digital nomad, this is a nice place to spend your time, especially if you don't need to be going to a brand new attraction every single day.
Yeah, but for a regular tourist, I do think that probably a day or two is going to be enough.
Probably enough. Now, if you are planning the standard tour of Central Europe, I'm sure you'll be including Vienna.
We did just spend a week there, and even though it rained almost every single day, we actually had an amazing time.
It really doesn't matter what the weather is like when you're in Vienna. There's just always something to do.
But you can see for yourself by checking out the next video right over here. Well, unfortunately the rain has caught up with us, but we're not going to let it hold us back, and we're making our way down to St. Stephen's Cathedral.
Well, we really know how to put the glamour into travel. So we've got our free Rick Steves tour happening here. We've got our umbrellas against the rain, and we've got a couple shivering little poodles wearing their rain gear.